Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome you to Press Drive, your daily dose of news and current events on I-FLIER 103.3 FM Ibadan. How was your break? And how was your Easter Monday? I'm sure you had fun, and I hope you saw Jesus ascend, into heaven. Yes, it is a voice of your Somchos Marvelous, SOBALOJU, OYEDELE, and we'll kick things up this morning with the headlines giving you a sneak peek into the major stories making waves in the world of politics, business, entertainment, and more. Following the headlines, we'll delve deeper into the top stories, analyzing the key events and news shaping our world. Our expert analyst is already here and is going to provide us, join us to provide insight here. And expert opinions on the major stories from the front pages of Nigerian's leading newspaper to the trending topics on social media. We are going to cover it all. Stay tuned to Press Drive and let's drive the conversation together. Good morning. Today is the 22nd day in the month of April 2025, and we're going to kickstart this program with the headlines from the Punch paper. From the front page of the Punch paper, we have the headlines: Tinubu to meet service chiefs over rising killings. President returns from France. UK. Presidency blames governors for worsening insecurity. Protests in Jos. All of that on page 2 of the Punch. NNPCL sells 336 billion naira crude to Dangote and foreign refiners, coming from report. And local refiners buy 32% of NNPCL crude in first quarter. They can check page 33 of the Punch newspaper for details. Electricity failures inflict manufacturers' generator bill to 1 trillion naira, and that's on page 25. On page 7 of the same paper, this is on Japa. Federal government targets ghost workers in fresh payroll audits. That's on page 7. Also on page 7, UK records 22,000 Nigerian asylum seekers. That's on page 7 of the Punch paper. We have more. Tinubu, what leaders mourn as Pope Francis dies at 88. You can also check that on page 6 of the Punch paper. I did not interfere in Alafin's selection, says Makinde. You can check page 12 for details. And we have this one on page 5. Lagos launches probe as building collapse deaths hit 7. Alright, and the last headline from the Punch. This is in Rivers. Fubara's backers go spiritual. That's on page 12. Now to the Daily Trust. From the Daily Trust, very quickly, we have this one. Zamfara residents pay millions for safety. Zamfara residents, they pay millions for safety. That's on page 5. After 19 days, Tinubu returns from France, UK trip. That's on page 30. 5 dead, 13 injured as truck rams into procession in Gombe. That's on page 23. Kano, Katsina, Jigawa gets 2-hour power supply daily. Small businesses suffer losses. Kedco blames outage on system upgrade. You can check page 3 and 4 of the Daily Trust. And Pope Francis, what happened when a pope dies? 137 cardinals to choose new pontiff. You can check that on page 6 and 7 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Now to the New Telegraph headlines. China floods Nigeria with 4.7 trillion naira worth of goods in 2 months. Alright, as value of nation's export hit 2.99 trillion naira YOY. China floods Nigeria with 4.7 trillion naira worth of goods in 2 months, as value of nation's export hit 2.2 2.99 trillion naira YOY. You can check the New Telegraph for details. Alright, US tariff debt service put 23.9 trillion naira capital expenditure at risk. That's on page 25. And we have more from the New Telegraph. Tinubu extol Kalu's unwavering patriotism, entrepreneurial spirit at 65. Arrives Abuja after 2-week Europe working visit. You can check page 4 and page 27 of the New Telegraph. Plateau under siege. Mutuang tells stakeholders. That's on page 5. Nigeria airports running at a loss. Reports on Enugu Airport's concessionaire duration force. That's on page 3. NNPC Limited reduces fuel price to 880 naira per litre in Lagos and 930 within fate, poor, rich, coming from Tinubu and Atiku Kalu Obi Khan, Catholic bishops, world leaders, others pay tribute. Life and Times of Pope Francis, page 8 and page 26. Alright, why many Christian politicians engage in unrighteous act, coming from cleric. As the writer says, is never seen governor that pays tithes. That's on page 30. Federal government to close Lagos Bridge for repairs on April 27. You can check page 5. And value of unsold goods up 87.5% to 2.14 trillion naira in 2024. That's coming from Man. Alright, and the last one for this morning, air, light pollution, raise child's thyroid cancer risk. That's coming from a study, and that's on page 29 of the New Telegraph. Moving quickly to the Daily Times. From the Daily Times this morning, we have these headlines. Alright, bandits impose 60 million naira on 12 Zamfara communities. Bandits impose 60 million naira on 12 Zamfara communities. That's on page 2. Atiku, Abbas, Lawan, Kalu pay tribute as Pope Francis dies at 88. That's on page 11. And on page 2 of the Daily Times, Khan leads protest in Jos over herdsmen killing of 150 villagers. And that's on page 2 as well. Alright, my comment on North. Your response is lazy. Baba Ahmed slams Ononuga. That's on page 2. Nigerian Correctional Service denies bomb explosion in Maiduguri prison. Coming on page 2 of the Daily Times. Tension mounts in Delta over alleged murder of Governor Oborivori's aide. That's on page 10 of the Daily Times. After 19-day European trip, Tinubu finally returns to Nigeria. That's also on page 11 of the Daily Times. Away from that to the blueprint. A quick look at the Blueprint newspaper. Akeldag linked jihad attack military ports in Benin Republic. Alright, Al-Qaeda linked jihadists attack military posts in Benin Republic, kill 70 soldiers. That's on page 10 of the Blueprint. And we have this one. Sonny Zoro accuses Chinese firm of land grabbing in Jigawa. That's on page 9. And in business, Overland Airlines commences flight from Minna Airport Wednesday. That's on page 22. And in sport, under 20 AFCON, Flying Eagles arrive to face Egypt today. That's on page 32. Ganduje rallies diaspora support for Tinubu, inaugurates Exco in France. China's Pope Francis dies at 88. Tinubu, Buhari, other world leaders mourn. He was a towering figure of faith and mercy. Coming from Khan. Plateau under siege, 3,000 lost to attack since 2015, coming from Mutwang, and protests rock Jos over killings. Okay, we have more from the blueprint. On floods, Zulum approves 850 million naira for rehabilitation upgrade of boreholes. That's on page 20 of the blueprint. And Naira steady against Euro despite global currency tumults. That's on page 25. Coming from police and coming from the federal government on page 25, which is the last one from the blueprint. Majority of Nigerian airports draining government funds, coming from the federal government. Now to the Nigerian Tribune. From the Nigerian Tribune, very quickly, others pay tribute as Pope Francis dies at 88. Page 13. Disquiet in APC over Tinubu's deal with Kwankwaso. Party chieftain kick against automatic tickets for new entrants. That's on page 15 of the blueprint. The last one for this morning, the Nation paper. IMF urges nations with huge debt to seek restructuring. That's on page 5. As Ryder says, Jimo tackles urgency on reform comment. Alright, NNPC 180 naira per litre. That's on page 25. US adjusts visa request procedure for applicants. That's on page 28. Alright, EFCC arrests 2 suspects over 1.3 trillion naira CBEX scam. Britain fought by Pope Francis. Words mourn humble pontiff, the Vatican head of state. And also IG raises probe panel on Natasha's threats to life allegation against Akpabio. That's on page 28. Hoodlum in dawn attack on Osun High Court building. That's on page 8. And President returns. That's on page 6 of the Nation paper. These are the headlines making the rounds this morning. Now it's time for us to go into details of some of them. All right. With me in the house is Barrister Folusho Olakbo. Good morning to you, sir.
Yes. Excuse me. Good morning this morning, darling.
Morning, sir.
I wish you and every other Nigerians congratulations again for the Easter, for the successful completion of Easter. And thank God yesterday the federal government declared a holiday for us to at least relax for all the proposition that we did during the Easter holiday. I don't know the English.
Yeah.
So, yes, on the other hand too, I am condoling with all good people of this world, especially the Christian community, for the passage of the pontiff, Pope Francis. It came as a surprise because it came for service. At least it showed up on Easter Sunday, and to hear yesterday morning that is passed is to show that God actually stays in heaven and doing as He pleases. So let us all together join our faith together and continue to seek mercy and obtain the favor of God. And I pray that in doing that, this country will continue to flow with milk and honey, and each and every one of us will enjoy the good of this land. Good morning this morning.
Right, so finally President Tinubu is back.
Yeah.
And this time around, as he returned, is set to meet service chiefs over rising killings. President Bola Tinubu is planning to meet with the service chiefs to discuss the rising killings in Plateau, Benue, and other parts of the country on his return to Abuja from his 2 weeks working visit in Paris, the French capital. Alright, Tinubu returned to Abuja Monday night after spending 18 days on a working visit and retreat in Paris and London. The Air Force 01 aircraft conveying the president landed at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, at 9:50 p.m. on Monday. the State House Media Office announced. Since April 2nd, when it traveled, more than 120 locals have been killed by armed assassins. Alright, several homes have been burnt and 3,000 persons displaced since the deployment of security forces. In Benue, at least 56 people were killed in Logo and Bagri after twin assaults blamed on armed headers rather. All right, multiple sources said the president was concerned by the security situation and would immediately meet with the service chiefs and the national security advisor Nuhu Rabado over the development. On Monday, a top functionary privy to the development confirmed to newsmen that the security meeting will review the rising violence and the measure to contain it.
How you doing?
Yes. I decided not to ask any question. I just want your reaction.
Because you don't know what to ask. Because I don't know what to say to that. Excuse me.
Bless you.
I'm sorry. Okay. Let me thank God. Please, bear with me. I'm feeling very strong, so please just bear with me. My voice, well. Especially. Yes. Mr. President. It beats my imagination. It actually beats it. I remember that I stayed up late yesterday and I didn't see that coming, that he came back. I only read that on papers yesterday. Maybe because I was fixated with the Pope's passing that I forgot everything about the country. And secondly, I take exception to the newspaper describing the people that were murdered as locals. No, they are not locals, they are Nigerian citizens. So I take exception to that, and it shows that we have two different people in this country, the elites and the ordinary people. The elites being the politicians and the rich. I'm sure if one rich or big politician were among those that was killed, they won't refer to them as locals. No, that is too bad. I think newspapers should check their language. It is not too good. You know, it is taking the shine out of them. It is making them making us to feel that they are nothing. Yes, but life is sacred. Life is sacrosanct. Life is everything, and blood is life. So I do not like it when the newspaper call them locals. So we should celebrate them. They are to me, they are saints. Giving their lives even for the sake of their people. Now, going from that, the paper said about 120 people were killed, even in the space of some days, 2 days or 3 days, or even where Mr. President was not around. 120 people died in one state, and Mr. President decided to stay abroad. It shows to the extent to which the interests of Nigerians really are, even to the politicians. And now that he's telling us he's going to meet with army chiefs, what would that bring out? To me, he and successive president have been meeting with service chiefs after the killing of care. If life is lost, if anything, they want to do what they want to do and when they want to do it, and that is all they care about. If we had presidents that are pro people, that knows that life is sacrosanct, that no one in this world should take the life of other unnecessarily, then quote working visit to whatever country he went for the working visit. Have you seen any other country's president flying into Nigeria for a working visit? Now, at any time they just deem fit. No, I don't think we deserve this type of leadership in this country. I think when a life is lost, people should rise up and
Bless you.
yes, thank you, and sympathize with the people, especially the people that are supposed to keep or to protect those lives, especially because the constitution said in fact the main reason that we have leaders and that we voted them in is for the security and welfare of the people. So without that we would not have any constitutional democracy. And since we voted them in to protect us and they failed to protect us, if we had a good, a functioning National Assembly, I think by now Mr. President must be facing the music too. But of course, we do not have a National Assembly that is pro people. So it is about the politicians, it's about the elites, whatever they do. Somebody will ask me, then if 120 people died, then what will Mr. President do only as a person do? But Mr. President is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. So and his assistants are telling us that he can work from anywhere. No, I have seen presidents in this world that when such thing happen in their country, they fly back, even if they are not in that country. They have to fly back immediately to ensure to bring peace. Like, you know, when you see your president, you know, having empathy, empathizing with you, at least you will be comforted that Mr. President cares. Do we have a president that cares? Do we have a leader that cares? Do we have a governor that cares? And see, this morning I was just thinking about all these things. I was just thinking about it, and I'm sorry, please.
Bless you.
And when I when I heard what the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, said, that if you were to be given a chance, that if he had the opportunity, he will give all Nigerians what they need. And I begin to think, how when you have the opportunity you did not do anything. When you have the opportunity to better the lives of Nigerians, you were there just doing whatever you like, that are anti-people. It is because it's not working that Nigeria found himself in the position it is today. Assuming he assumed the role of a president. You remember they called him a clueless president. He doesn't know what to do, even in that position. So at the end of the day, they drove him out, and we ended up bringing God, may God have mercy on us. Anyway, we welcome Mr. President back.
Welcome back. All right, a quick one. While we are still talking about insecurity and all of that, UK has recorded 22,000 Nigerian asylum seekers. The United Kingdom Home Office received 22,619 asylum applications from Nigerian nationals from 2010 to 2024, according to findings by the newspaper. All right, this is as Nigerians accounted for 1 in 30 UK asylum claims over the period, ranking 11th on the Home Office newly released year-end asylum and resettlement statistics. According to the Home Office, nearly twice as many Nigerians, 2,814, applied for 542 Pakistanis claiming asylum in the UK, driven by post-election turmoils, soaring inflation, and a spike in blasphemy persecution that human rights groups say offer substantial grounds for persecution claims. Afghanistan, Taliban, and others actually followed, but they genuinely have an excuse, you know, for seeking asylum. What's 22,000 in the space of what now? I want to be very specific. In the space of 2010 to 2024, we have 22,619 persons seeking asylum in the United States, and in 2024 alone, 2,841 persons are seeking asylum. In case you don't know what asylum is, asylum means that they are ready to leave. They are hoping that the UK would claim them as their citizen, such that they don't get to return back to their own country, which means that they have lost all hope in the country, and they want to go elsewhere. and they are ready to forget everything that has to do with their culture, their background, their country. They don't even care anymore. They just want to leave Nigeria for the UK. That is just in 2024 alone. We don't know how many persons have started seeking asylum. We don't know how many persons have started seeking asylum, in 2025. The report will be out in 2026. But right now, I feel like that is really it really calls for concern. It's different from Japa now. If you Japa, you can still come back anytime. But if you seek asylum, you will forget all about your country. That's what it means. So what do you have to say on that?
Well, thank you for at least explaining the part.
The asylum part, Abi.
That the differences between
Japa
and
asylum
seekers. Majorly, Japa is just people leaving the country.
Yes, now to see greener pastures,
and
probably come back later.
Asylum seekers, majorly, what they do majorly is they left their country to seek protection
Yes.
from other governments. Because of the persecution that is happening in that country, and that is why it appears Iran and Afghanistan
Topping but they have a genuine reason for doing that.
Yes, they have a genuine reason. They are being persecuted, human rights abuse and everything. Like in Nigeria now, we will say that Nigerians are being persecuted because it appears the government willingly declare economic war against them. because before now, you can hold a 1,000 naira and can still feel like a king.
Yes, so
if you are
you
going to
cook your effort conveniently, not anymore.
Yeah, and you can buy a bottle of soda.
Yes.
Coca-Cola or whatever. I'm sorry for naming names.
Thank you.
But you still have some change in your pocket. But today, I don't know. In fact, it's been the last time I tried
1,000 naira is like 100 naira.
To buy one, when I was told the price, I said, well, thank God it was not written for me. It was not prescribed for me in UCH. So I can do without it. That is the meaning. What? At that amount, 500 naira. No, me, I can't do that.
I'll buy orange and squeeze it and drink that one. That one is another soda.
So what we are saying is this. Why should Nigeria, with all that it's blessed with, natural resources, human resources, the weather, everything, and we are still among asylum seekers? I think we should have to think twice. But in fact, people should be seeking asylum in this country because God really blessed this country with everything that we needed.
You mean others times, maybe because they've tried some routes to go into the UK or any other place. That's why they actually seek asylum, not because they are being threatened.
See, let me tell you, the present leaders of Nigeria, when they were in the university, they have the opportunity to travel abroad for their holidays on the bill of federal government, free of charge, and they won't go.
That must have been like 1990.
When they were students. Me, when I was student, we have to use abacha stove. You remember? You don't know what abacha stove is?
No, I don't.
Abacha stove, because there was no fuel, there was no kerosene.
So you were using sawdust?
Sawdust.
Oh, that's abacha stove.
That's why we call it abacha stove. I think it was during abacha time. So we were using it to cook. In those days, they don't cook. They have to go to the cafeteria and serve their food like gentlemen they were. They have to eat at least a whole chicken or half chicken every week. They have
week.
Yes, so they chicken. Have yes now. They have Odindikon, Fenikon could get a plate of food for them and keep it in their room. In fact, somebody told me recently that it is only a glutton that to eat the 3 square meals they provide in the school then, that because what we are going to eat for breakfast, oh God have mercy, it can't digest until we are going to eat dinner. So it is there free, you have to go there and eat it. But look at what they are doing to us now. If this economic war or whatever is not happening in this country, what I'm just trying to say is this, that there's a reason for any reason. Has it not been for economic war, then people will not be seeking asylum or whatever it is. Some people will even go to Benin Republic to seek asylum. They just want to get out of this country. Some people will not mind anything. They will give anything they have to go to Libya, to even go to Afghanistan to seek asylum. Nigerians.
Yes, so that's why we can have Nigerians in Sudan.
In Sudan.
Ha!
And they have to go there and attend free classes.
Imagine.
Free education, because probably as a Muslim, I think that is northern Sudan. So, but look at it. We had this opportunity. The first leaders of this country provided the opportunities for the present politicians to thrive. And are they presenting that to us? No, they are killing. Rather than presenting to us, they are killing the future of tomorrow. The former politicians, the first Republican Constitution, the Republic Constitution politicians, you know, they were protecting their future, the future of their tomorrow, which is us. And the us now, the present politicians, what are they doing? Killing the future. I don't know. Until and unless they will begin to have an understanding of what is happening in this country. And I think that was the reason history have to be cancelled, even in our curriculum. Because if there were to be history, we will read all these things, and people will now, their eyes will be open, because you will not know where you are going until you know where you are coming from. So you have to know where you are coming from to be able to reach where you are going to, or else you just be you know, tossing up and down like a leaf on the water. And the most unfortunate thing too is that when these people come again to seek our thumbs for election, for us to vote for them, that is, we would still vote for them.
Okay, we'll go on a quick commercial and we'll be right back.
Unlock your child's reading potential. Introducing Bookworm Empowerment Children Literacy Center. We nurture a love for reading and learning in children for lifelong education, with technology assisted in teaching learning to read and reading to learn. Expert instructors with a passion for teaching reading. Personalized reading learning plans tailored to your children's needs. Fun, interactive and engaging learning environment. Small class sizes ensure individual attention. Regular progress updates and parent-teachers conferences. Our program consists cognitive and technical reading skills, phonics, phomic awareness, fluent reading, decoding, vocabulary, comprehension. Enroll your child at this very excellent period. Contact us to register your child right now on 0802 351 9154. Address GAF Building by Keto Petrol Station, Orogun, off University of Ibadan, Second Gate. Empower your child with the gift of literacy.
My people, me and you no get electricity wahala again. No, OIC Solar don't make and day easy kulele with this new kind of bonga easy life solar product. We then just carry land with the multi for Ibadan. With this them powerful solar kits, we dey for different sizes, original power stations like a 200 watts, 300 watts, 600 watts. With the inverter embedded solar kit, we get 6 brighter bulbs and attract batteries, portable Android projector, different solar inverters, electric motorbike. We sharp as we dey sell, we dey install. Now so we dey repair power solar system and components. OIC na the ogbonge confirm accredited distributor for all the companies them where they produce original solar product from obodo yibo them, big companies, churches, mosque, event center. Everybody waka go OIC solar company today for shop C4 NTA shopping complex Agodi Gate Ibadan. Now so then they for Samsung shopping complex Ekulodi Junction New Ife Road Ibadan. Website www.oicsolar.net. For Instagram plus TikTok OIC Solar 1 Tulu 081 05 02 0388. Better light don't come.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you Mama Gold Semolina and Supreme Semolina. Yes! Are you looking for the best pasta and semolina brands for your family? Look no further. The gold standard of pasta and semolina, made from the finest ingredients, is here. A semolina is perfect for making delicious meals. And for spaghetti and macaroni lovers, we have Mama Pride spaghetti and macaroni, Crown Premium spaghetti, and macaroni, rich in fiber.
Right here. All right, so while we await calls, let's quickly talk about filling station short after Dangote refinery petrol price drop. Okay, some filling stations and premium product, petroleum products marketers, all right, partners of Dangote Refinery Petrol temporarily shut down for the past 5 days after the latest premium motor spirit price drop by 650,000 barrels per day refinery. According to reports from the past 5 days, MRS filling station in Abuja along Kubwa Expressway and others have not dispensed fuel since Dangote Refinery announced its ex-depot price reduction to 835 naira per litre on Tuesday, 16th of April, 2024.
This thing will come to an end anytime soon. The president, we heard that the president is meeting the policies again. Please, what has been the outcome? Yes, from what they from the meeting they've been having. See, it is high time the president is intentional about curbing these things by first banning any form of open grazing. Yes, because that is the main cause in Plateau and Benue, and then grant state police security is local. We've been saying this, marvelous. It is long overdue. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Tolu. All right, let's take this one. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. We can hear you. Flights to Dangote Refinery amounted to 107.44 billion naira within the 3-month period. The crude was sold at unit prices ranging from $74.87 to $80.34 per barrel, using exchange naira 0.22 per dollar and 1,562.91 naira per dollar. Okay, hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
All right.
Hello.
Yes,
hello,
we can hear you.
That the commander-in-chief of Nigeria just to say it in the mouth. It is not the commander-in-chief to be ready to go to battlefield and lead the army and the commander, you must lead them to the battlefield. If that is started in the constitution, it will make them to be more responsible, to be more hardworking, and they will not shy away from their responsibility. I want to ask, why is it not put in the constitution like that? Thank you, sir.
Okay. So, and if you are a civilian, you cannot go to battlefront. Then, secondly, the constitution appreciates that.
As for asylum outside, because Nigeria topic is not good. It's not the president did not have time. Only time for gbogbo wa mọ́ lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Ó ní àwọn yẹn ṣe ń béèrè fún ìwé ìgbé ìlú ní ìlú onílùú. Débi tí mo ṣe kọ láì ní ìsìn kí n máa lọ gbé ìlú ọ̀hún kì ní asylum. Kò ṣeé ṣe torí ìlà wà lójú mi. Now, kí ẹ mọ̀ pé ó yẹ kí ọmọ Nàìjíríà wá mọ ohun tó yẹ kí wọ́n máa dìbò fún báyìí. Ẹ wo ọkùnrin yìí, ó fi wá lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ sí. Ṣé ló barista?
Yes, sir.
Jẹ́jẹ́ fẹ́ni, ṣé lóòótọ́ ló ti padà dé? Torí wọ́n
Yes,
sọ̀rọ̀
he's
lórí
back.
rẹ̀.
The president is back, yes.
So fojú rẹ̀ nínú òkè mo gbọ́ kò sí oṣù tọrọ fún mi. Because they are speaking
Okay.
on his behalf when we think that it is true the president speaking and not the president for 3 months, 90-something days. This is not kò dáa fún wa rárá àgbọ̀rú rẹ̀ rí kò ṣẹlẹ̀ rí ní Nàìjíríà pé kí ààrẹ òfin wá lẹ̀ ojú oṣù mẹ́ta ó lé láti máa lọ sí ìlú lọ́lọ́.
It was just away for 2 weeks, so.
Tàbí pé bí pẹ́sidẹ́ǹtì kan wá tó wá lọ oṣù kan bí rí kò ṣeé ṣe ẹ wo bí ọkùnrin ṣe ń ṣe wá torí kò jẹ́ Yorùbá ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣàyẹ̀ ojú àbáyé 2027 àmọ̀bí tá à ń lọ tó jẹ́lẹ̀ bá tó débẹ̀ padà ó lè lọ́dún kan ẹ̀kọ́ sílẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ kò ní gbọ́dọ̀ padà ní ó tájìdì ọ̀kẹ́ láti àkànrán.
All right. Yes, the president was just away for 2 weeks.
Yes,
and
yes.
the fact that it has happened before in Nigeria.
Several.
In fact, even the days of Buhari, 100 days.
Even before Buhari.
Even Yaradua,
Yaradua.
it is well. Let's take calls. All right. 0705
Hello, good
500
morning.
1063. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Sister Marvelous.
Good morning, Sister Ruth.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you.
Yeah,
You're welcome,
Yeah.
Sister Ruth.
yes, ma'am. I greet my daddy. Good morning to you, sir.
Yes, good morning this morning, sister. Happy
Yes, sir.
happy Easter.
Same to you, sir.
You're welcome.
So, on the meeting between President Tinubu and the service chief, I hope it gives them positive results.
I
Because
hope so
this is
too.
not the first time they will be meeting and nothing to show for it. So I'll just implore the president, like high time, he should look into this menace of insecurity because the way it has generated is really, really heartbreaking. They should please do the needful. He should do the needful. We expect any government to take action in protecting the lives and property of the masses. But the case here is another thing. They should please do the needful on time. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Sister Ruth. And from the Facebook page, we have this one. Lots of comments actually. We have this from Oluwashe Root. Okay, the APC federal government always blame others for their failures to do the needful because we all know that the governors don't have full capacity to tackle insecurity, just like the way Southwest governors can't ground sophisticated weapons to their Amotekun, which is why they are all clamoring for state police. It's high time the federal government do the needful on time as far as insecurity is concerned. Hello? And Pastor Dr. Mukaila Famiwa, that's my daddy, says, good morning, my dear beloved daughter. And he also sends greetings to you, Barrister, and all I-FLIER family. He says that, okay, happy Easter. May the soul of Pope Francis, rest in peace, R.I.P. Okay, so now that Tinubu is back, he should face governors and visit Plateau and Benue states to do the needful. Thank you very much, Daddy. And also Sulaiman Sharif says, good morning to everyone. According to report, since April 2, when Mr. President traveled out of the country, more than 120 locals have been killed by armed assailants, while several homes have been burnt. Now Mr. President is around. We want genuine action and stop sleepwalking into a crisis. We are tired of meeting upon meetings without any positive results. Hello? Hello, good morning. Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, this engineer DC from Selika.
You're welcome, engineer.
Yeah, when the barrister was talking about this asylum or no asylum,
Yes.
I just want to chip in this. Maybe it looks strange when he tell you, because I pass through it every Sunday. We used to call our friends to come and eat chicken with us
How year are you?
in our cafeteria. And in the cafeteria there, the tea in the morning used to be in a bucket with tap, put in some locations. And we go there with our teacup. We watch. If you go there more than 3 times, we started to beat our plate with spoons and shout Balewa, Balewa.
Imagine.
Because during the national conference in London, Balewa did not know that if he doesn't want, he has to turn down his cup. So they begin to feed him with tea.
I heard about that too.
So we used to say jokingly, if you go there more than 3 times, Balewa, Balewa. That was the life then. We don't know that things will turn around to be like this.
Imagine.
It's just a pity.
Not even.
I pray that
chicken
good
legs.
time will come back to Nigeria.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you very much for sharing that with us this
Wow,
morning.
that's great.
Imagine we did not even see chicken leg.
And even the tiny
So
whatever it's called.
that's okay. All right. Oh, my dear Adekule says it's so unfortunate that the federal government is taking the lives of the citizens with levity, because Plateau and Benue killings is not up to the River State crisis before emergency rule was declared. And I don't know what is delaying community police to transpire in the country, because the existence in this says, good morning, the president's meeting with service chiefs to discuss insecurity is a step in the right direction, but it's crucial to consider whether concrete actions were taken earlier to prevent the situation from escalating. I urge the president to explore all necessary measures to effectively address the menace and find lasting solutions. Olasha Inde Habib Kamadupe sent his greetings. Boluwatife Ademiju once says, the president's decision to blame state governors for insecurity seems misplaced. Clearly, state governments have limited resources and capabilities, which is why many have been advocating for state police and better equipped local security forces. Instead of assigning blame, the federal government should collaborate with state governments to combat insurgency. Working together and providing necessary support would be more effective in addressing this issue. Adekunle Adisa says, good morning, well done, thank you. Daddy Fashino Isiaka says, good morning, Marvelous, SOBALOJU, OYEDELE, an evergreen barrister, Folusho Lakpo. And I pray, my barrister, you killed that one paper said. I advise the same paper to tender apology to the state.
Yes.
Then about the word Japa is for those who cannot endure the situation of our country, Nigeria. Alright, and the last one I'll be able to take this morning. This is from Boluwatife Ademijuwon. If given the opportunity to leave the country today, I wouldn't think twice. Nigerians' current challenges are overwhelming. I urge the federal government to provide lasting solutions to our problems, as many people, including myself, are considering leaving. Well, not only you, my dear.
I'm sure somebody.
Yes, well, let's take this last call. Hello. 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 Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
My name is Ibrahim.
You made me to be a last caller today.
Sorry, sir.
No problem. We are doing together. Regarding the, I won't be anybody else. I can use my time fully.
Okay.
Regarding the political, asylum seeker.
Okay.
The people call Nigeria government, they are not doing well. In fact, the people